Hi there, Tracy from Kazadans Equestrian. Welcome to this week's video. This week I have actually been motivated, I guess, or inspired to do a video or do some research also about head shaking with one of my clients having a bit of an issue with her horse. So this week I'm going to look at this awful phenomenon of head shaking, and Zoe, if you're watching this one's for you and Sunny, so I hope it helps at least a little bit. So what is head shaking? All horses shake their heads, right? So everybody flicks with a fly, or, if you've got a crazy Arabian like mine, he likes to flick his head on his way down to get his food. But there are horses that actually flick their heads so continuously and violently that it becomes unsafe for them and humans around them. They tend to flick their noses. Quite often you watch them rub their muzzle as well, and often these guys show especially strong vertical head shaking, and this shaking can only be described as chronic and almost violent. It's seen more often in geldings and can either come on very suddenly or very slowly, and often between the ages of about 6 to 12 years. If you start recognising some of these symptoms in your horse, take it seriously and try to investigate as soon as you possibly can. This really does cause a major equine welfare issue for the horse. Many horses, if it's very chronic and very violent, it can't be resolved. Many of these horses are actually euthanized. It obviously can also present a bit of a safety issue for that horse's human. This behaviour is often increased under saddle, and the horse seems to be less aware of where it's throwing its head and what it's doing. So the person around them or on their back really does become secondary at this point. The horse isn't meaning to do it, but you are secondary to this sensation that they're feeling in their head. So there are actually some simple things that you can try at home, which are worth, I guess, having a go at. If you do have a go at these, I highly recommend you actually test them properly, one thing at a time, and record responses that you're getting. Because if, and sadly more likely when you end up to the vet to get some extra help for this, some of this investigation that you've already done can be useful information for them. So the two things to easily quick and check are teeth. So get your equine dentist out. Sometimes there could be an abscess or a fractured tooth or something that's just so irritating that they don't know what to do with themselves. And also ears. Something getting caught in their ears, like a foreign body, or if there's insects or mites in their ears. And that's something fairly easy for you to check if you don't have a crazy head shy horse. Ear infections, I guess, can sometimes play a part in this as well, so that's worth looking out for. Neck issues. It's been shown that some of these head shaking horses have some serious neck issues going on. Again, this is going to be really hard to diagnose because you can get your body worker out, and they will certainly find pain in your horse's neck, but is this the cause of the head shaking or a symptom of the head shaking? So even if the symptoms, I guess, reduce after getting the neck worked on, if they do return, again, that needs escalating to your vet because this may just be a relief of some of the symptoms. The environment can play a big role as well. So some horses are actually allergic like we are, so they get some kind of allergic sinusitis type response, and also some horses have a really big issue with sunlight. Obviously these horses tend to exhibit symptoms that are predominantly shown in sort of spring summer type weather. And also the horse's diet. Again, I harp on this over and over, but it really is a go-to to check. Sometimes additional magnesium can help with horses that are head shaking, but the doses required that have been in studies really need to be done under veterinary advice anyway. However, having a look at your horse's diet to see they're not deficient in anything is really a great step to start with. They have absolutely shown that adding some magnesium actually with melatonin can help. And also magnesium with boron can help. Now, these are all studies done, but like I said, your vet needs to help guide you with the how much to add of these substances, and also maybe some follow-up bloods to check that you're not adding too much. The real chronic and uncontrollable head pain that can't be ruled out by one of these other symptoms tends to be caused by nerve pain, and it's the trigeminal nerve. So this is the nerve that supplies all the feeling to the face. And if you've known any person with a trigeminal nerve problem, they will tell you it's extremely all-consuming and painful. It seems to be in the horse that this nerve is just ready to fire at any time. So another thing to even check with your horses is your bridle fit. If it's only happening under saddle, you know, does your horse still do this ridden? If you're in a halter, etc., etc. Because there are bridles specifically designed to avoid that trigeminal nerve in the face, which are a lot more comfortable for your horse. Two of them that I know off the top of my head are a Michelin bridle, or Shockamole do a great anatomical bridle. So if your horse is one of those that seems to really show up in spring and summer, trying fly veils, but a fly veil with a proper UV protection, not just the fly veil to keep the flies off the horse's eyes. We want the UV light out of the horse's eyes. So a proper UV mask, and also nose nets. These things have been shown to reduce the symptoms in a lot of horses. So they are quite an economical way to test to see if this is going to help your horse at all. So if you've tried all these little things and it's pointing to the trigeminal nerve sort of syndrome that causes this uncontrollable head shaking, do not hesitate to include your vet in the diagnosis and treatment of your horse. The sooner you're able to do that, the sooner you may be able to find some relief. Your horse is in pain and very uncomfortable. There are also some other medications that your vet may like to try that are prescription-only medications before they go down the assuming it's the trigeminal nerve shaking. Even the trigeminal nerve head shaking is affected by so many different factors like diet and environment. Given that geldings are more susceptible, you'd think there may be some hormonal involvement. However, sadly, there is no one safe and effective treatment for trigeminal nerve head shaking. So not only is there no cure, but there's no one cause, there's no one management regime, and there's no one treatment that suits all horses with this syndrome. There are actually a lot of studies like currently being done, so hopefully there are advances being made to help the horse with the head shaking syndrome. However, none of these are really practical at the moment. There's been some positive results with being able to inject into the nerve, but to do that you need the horse actually under general anaesthetic. So this is not really a feasible option, but the researchers are really working towards things in this area. So for you as the owner, what do you do? I've given you some example of some little things to try. Please try them. Remember to record what you've tried and the effect. But don't hesitate to involve your vet as soon as you possibly can, because your horse is feeling very uncomfortable if it's doing this uncontrollable, violent and chronic head shaking. Thanks for listening. I hope this gave you some information and I guess a direction to go if you're encountering this problem in your horse. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on that notification bell so that you get to be notified that I've put out a new video. Like the video, please share it around as much as you like, and any comments that you put on the YouTube channel below I will reply to. So thanks again, and I'll see you next week.